Peter Shard and Nick Finn joining you in the commentary box.
Good afternoon. This promising to be a cracking game. Getting to the business end now. Some lads fighting in this for their first Pro Series title. There's a couple in there that could be repeat winners, but well, let's just say we won't get our second new Pro Series champion of the weekend. Phil Harrison doing the business last night.
And of course, interesting dynamic, Nick, to this tournament because we've lost Stevie Dempsey and Tom Cousins.
Yes, indeed, yeah. It's open. And also bubbling away in the background, the Challenger event is drawing to a conclusion. They're playing quarter-finals at the moment. An absolute lineup in that section. The standout for me at the moment is young Charlie Earnshaw, just 15 years of age. He's in the quarter-final. He's currently 3-1 up against Rich Gifford, with a real good chance to get himself in the semi-final. Andrew Patchett and Jake Dillon Newlove. I mean, the names in here. Ryan Davey having another great run. He made semi-final in event 9. What a run he's having this weekend. And David Hogan with a chance to get top spot. He's just kicking off against Mark Gray. He's just won, pulled out a naughty finish to beat Toby Bolt in a Hill game. And who's to say he won't steal the top spot?
Yeah, I had a quick look at the rankings, and that match was absolutely huge because Toby Bolt has just missed out on the top 16 with defeat there. David Hogan needs to reach the final, and he will pinch the top spot from Connor Tracy if he can do that. The prospect of winning 3 Challenger titles in one season is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. In a field of circa 280 players, every event. Unbelievable, really.
I think even the prospect of that, Nick, that Connor Tracy might finish number 2, and he's won 2 himself and been to the final of another one. Outrageous standard in the Ultimate Pool Challenger Series.
Barbara Taylor still going strong. She's 3-1 up against Becky Watkins. Danielle Randall, another name in there, 3-2 up against Sharon Lunn. Marion Jude, the current world champion, 4-2 up against Kirsty Lee Davis. Amy Beauchamp already through into the quarterfinals, so we'll see the conclusion of the ladies this evening as well. Lots and lots of action coming to you on Sunday. It's always such a great day. Conclusion of so many different competitions, and there's so many different connotations. The Challenger, the top 16 getting pro ranked next year, so all those players still in with a chance of going pro.
Also got the race to number 1 in the ladies as well. I can tell you currently, as it stands, that Amy Beauchamp and Harriet Haynes are tied on points at the top of the women's series rankings.
Really?
And yeah, and Danielle Randall just sitting behind them in 3rd place.
That's incredible after such a season. And Harriet in danger. She's, as I say, 4-3 down. We'll keep a close eye on that scoreline. Amy already through. I think the points already take into account, I don't know how quickly they update, but I'm pretty sure they take into account their most recent wins. So Amy would need to probably win her next match if Harriet does get beaten.
Yeah, I think they go in real time. We'd need confirmation on that. So it could be that because Amy's through already that they've logged the points for that. So
yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think basically coming into this weekend, Amy needed to go around further than Harriet.
Meanwhile, the Irishman, Karl O'Donoghue, going about a really nice clearance to get his first frame on the board. And this looks pretty much done and dusted, barring a catastrophe.
Karl O'Donoghue looking to hit right back. Neil Raybone, who cleared up off his own break. Karl just looking to repay the favour.
He looks focused, doesn't he? He's keyed right into this game. Absolutely certain he will next season. He's been finding his way back into the game after some layoff for a few years. Kind of stepped away from things. But, he's back and hungry, and that makes a dangerous Karl O'Donoghue.
Yeah, world under-21 champion in 2010. Things went promising, and then I think life just happened, and Karl took a little bit of a step back from the game, but with a talent like that, you can't stay away for too long. His opponent, Neil Raybone, and we don't need to say too much about that man, Nick. Pedigree. Such a good player for such a long time. Former European champion.
Karl couldn't see a way into this frame, understandably so. There's clusters left and right at the table, so just electing to tie another ball up and handing it over to Neil and basically just throwing the gauntlet down and saying, go on then, you have a crack at it. And Neil not taking the bait. Much more of the same from him. And I think this could be a tit for tat. I don't see any player attacking for a little while now.
Yeah, you get a sense from frames like this that first to go is going to be on the back foot.
You may see him just run into the yellow he's closest to. Equally, could push that into 2 reds. He's electing just to move this yellow off the side cushion.
And it's hard to really decipher which colour set is preferential. Problems with both.
Yeah, it's picking the bones out of this one. It's really tough, but it is one of those frames that you have to be really careful and cagey, because one loose shot and you could open things up. Yeah, more of the same from Neil Raybone, just pushing another yellow into a cluster. This could strip some time off the clock.
Yeah, it certainly can. It's not the type of frame either player is going to want to have. They're going to want to keep them open, keep the arm loose.
We're just going to keep seeing bigger clusters here. Neil's going to push this yellow in amongst. He's just opened that top red, so that does now offer an option later in the frame to use that ball to break open that cluster, but there's still no opening ball.
Have we got a stat for longest time without a colour set decided?
I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into the archives for that.
Stato Mr. Simon Webb's probably got something written down. Barbara Taylor now gone 4-1 up against Becky Watkins. Barbara just a winner. She ever present in these fields, and you just always expect to see her in the business end. World champion.
England ladies captain, such a long time. It's such a nice person.
Oh, she's amazing, yeah. Every time you see her, she's first thing you get is a bear hug.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
I think she had on the outside passes. This is a great chance. I think it does. Neil's giving it a close look to see.
And you know it's tight when you get the one eye closed approach, as we see from the razor.
Wow, look at that. That camera angle just showed you. I think it just goes so close. And there you see. He's got to play it to the right hand side of the pocket though. Yeah. Just pushed it straight in towards the red, and now decent opportunity now for Karl. This frame's actually unfolded much faster than I expected it to.
Yeah, and again, as we alluded to at the start of this frame, the person who was almost forced into going first was always going to be on the back foot. And this is a presentable opportunity for Karl O'Donoghue.
Yeah, all the balls link pretty well as well. They kind of present themselves to dot finish. He's probably going to take this one to top left first, only because it hampers his queuing to the one. I think he'd ideally like to play the one to bottom left first, but it was just slightly hampered, which made it a bit more awkward to get next position. So he needs to come back across for that ball in a minute. Probably see him clear this right hand side of the table first. He won't be able to use that ball, unlikely to be able to use the ball on the left hand side as his ball to get onto the 8, because the yellow's covering that right hand centre pocket, so he just needs to give that a bit of thought about the order he's going to take these in. I don't think he's got the angle now to get across to the left hand side, so he is going to be forced to playing that ball last. Doesn't offer great position for the 8.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Yeah, and that's why he's taking on that big shot.
Need a bit of reverse side off that top cushion to send the cue ball a bit further across. He didn't want to get into it too much because then he'd bring the middle pocket into play. But actually, I'm not sure this. Can he get through to the potting angle? Don't think he can. Does the other red pass? Well, maybe he can just get through. If he can, that's a great bonus. Very nice.
Yeah, well controlled shot from Karl O'Donoghue. Just having to be a little bit creative with the shot previous to the one we've just seen. And as you rightly pointed out, Nick, it was all about that connection to the 8 ball. But from 1-0 behind, Karl O'Donoghue with a routine 8 ball to get his nose in front. I am pretty certain that all ladies quarterfinals are going to be on the stream.
Brilliant.
What a game that's going to be. A little bit of a shrug of the shoulders from Raybone.
Yeah, bit of a hangdog expression, and you'll see the reason why.
Golden break's not in operation at the Pro Series. You see our referee re-spot the 8 ball.
Pretty good table. It's just the just to the left of the 8 ball. I think it passes to right centre. He's got a ball that does link with it, so actually this is a decent chance.
If the 8 ball passes, well, it certainly does now. I was going to say if the 8 ball passes to the bottom left corner pocket, it's definitely a very presentable chance. But with a clever little flick on the red there, Neil Raybone has opened up another pocket for this yellow.
That was a bit clumsy there. Just a touch clumsy. That's just made this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. This ball should have been over the pocket, and this would have been really simple. But now he's got to play a thin cut, and the cue ball tracking across towards that red. He may have to put some. Yeah, he's tracking towards that red on the left-hand side cushion, and that was always going to be the problem. And now he's left with a really tough long pot. And if he gets it, he's going to have another one to follow it up with.
Yeah, this is certainly a test of cueing for Neil Raybone.
Pretty straight too, so there's not a huge amount you can do with the cue ball. One of of those I expect to see him play at the top spin and run the cue ball off the top cushion and then back down. Yeah.
Well struck.
Yeah, very much so. And this is fairly natural as well. He's looking at a connection. It felt like he could stroke this in. Well, maybe that red's in the way on the side cushion of being able to come across the side cushion and back out again. So he's looking at it, playing it just with a bit of well, kind of natural ball and just run into the 8 ball, push the 8 towards the pocket. He did just glance across the face of the 8.
Really had to dig into the cue ball there for that unavoidable cannon on the red. A little check. Always a little bit nervous with these shots. Yellow will be flirting with that left centre pocket, but
nice shot.
Such an incredible player for such a long time. Multiple world champion.
Yeah, 6 world titles to her name, which is an incredible achievement. That is going to be a dry break for Karl.
No worse than that. When you hit them as well as this, and you don't make a ball, you hand an incredibly inviting opportunity to your opponent. See him up for reds here. Just giving that a little bit of traffic with the 8 ball.
I was going to say, this is one of those clearances. The balls are spread far and wide. It looks like a fairly simple table, but actually needs some really good cue ball control. And 2 balls at the top of the table. They're going to need a bit of thought as well. Yeah, wants to get rid of that one early in the clearance. Now he's only got that 1 ball at the top that he needs to link back to. Again, just not quite ball perfect, but he's okay. He's got this other lone ball which is long to the left. Again, he's good cueing. Wow. Definitely didn't expect that. He maybe just me, but he seemed to just snatch a little bit about that to that ball. When you look back at his cue action, it wasn't as smooth as you expected to be from him.
It shows the fine margins of this game, as he's clearly missed that by millimeters, given how the reds stayed in the pocket.
So now we look down at this ball at the this red at the bottom left that's hung over the pocket. Karl needs a plan for the 2 yellows at this end, because that red's blocking his natural pocket for those 2 balls. So whether he can find, I can't naturally see any loss of turn shots because the reds are spread pretty far and wide.
He does have the option that here where he could play the combination shot, but he's refusing it. So a different plan for Karl O'Donoghue.
Do you know what? I think he was trying to leave an angle on this ball in the middle of the table. He may just have it, maybe be able to screw across into the red. If he pots it, then he should be on the 1. He'd be unlucky not to be on the 1 on the bottom rail.
Yeah, I thought he had the perfect angle with the previous shot to actually play the same one, but he's tried to go into that.
He's misjudged that by quite some margin there, and now he's left with a headache. going to have to pull some magic out of the bag here.
Yeah, it's certainly tough to see how Karl O'Donoghue can continue his visit. Looks like a loss of turn. That was so difficult. You could see him with left hand side trying to spin the cue ball into somewhere below that yellow on the bottom rail, but such a difficult shot. Hamper cueing.
And Lindsay Roberts has knocked out Harriet Haynes. So that opens the door for Amy Beauchamp. I think in terms of the rankings, that means both players are on exactly 13,000 points. It also opens the door for Danielle Randall to take top spot. If she wins that event, she's going to get 5,000 points. And she has a chance of going top of the pile. But it does mean that Amy needs to win her game against Marion Jude to be able to go ahead of Harriet.
Yeah, if my calculations are correct, Danielle would need to win the event and have Marion knock Amy out in the quarterfinals, and Danielle can jump to number one. So Amy with almost like a free go at I've been able to take that number one spot.
Yeah. And in the meantime, sorry, I was looking at the scores from the other game. I actually missed what happened on here, but no, Raybone's broken down and let Karl O'Donoghue back in. He needs to hold up or bounce. Just enough, I think. That would have been in his mouth for a second. If that had stuck in the jaws, then I don't think he had a shot.
Certainly a sharp intake of breath from Karl O'Donoghue. You can see enough of this.
Harjeet Singh, Ryan Pisani and Ryan Lambeth and Christy Coalfield. So Rob Woodcock, who's still in, is actually in 17th place. So he needs to win that game to get himself into into a seat in the pro rank. So that's actually a huge game for him.
Interestingly enough, Mark Gray still there as well.
Yeah.
Still in. He's only just 1,100 points off 16th spot.
And Charlie Earnshaw's in 28th place, but he is only 1,300 points behind 16th. So, you know, they
Charlie Earnshaw could turn pro at 15.
I know.
Wow.
So many connotations still possible. It's brilliant.
There'll certainly be a few nervous. I think Christy Caulfield, Ryan Lambeth sitting in 15th to 16th. You would think that Ryan Pisani is safe. Mark Gray and Charlie Earnshaw still in with a chance. I mean, yeah, only one of them can win the tournament, so you would imagine Ryan Pisani is safe. Indeed, Ryan Lambeth might be safe. I think it's Christy Caulfield who'll be maybe a bit of a nail biter there.
Yeah, because Patchett's already there. Rob Woodcock, he's 4-2 behind, but he could go into the top 16. Dave Hogan's already there. Charlie Earnshaw could go into the top 16. So there's a couple of players there that still could. Mark Gray, Mark
Gray's still there, so he could go into the top 16. I think given how far behind they are, they'd all need to win the tournament. So I think it's probably just that 16th spot that's up for grabs. Rob Woodcock actually throws a bit of a curveball in because he's ranked 17th.
Yeah.
He's only 50 points. Oh wow, he's only 50 points off a professional card. Rob Woodcock knows that there's just so many connotations, Nick. We will keep them coming to you across the 3 stream tables. I know we come to watch the pros and they're the best players in the world, Nick, but I love Judgment Weekend with the challengers getting their professional tour cards.
I was in the room watching the challenges earlier, and it's such an exceptionally good standard. They're just, you know, fractions off where these guys are.
Yeah, shout out to my two good friends, Sean Sharkey, Thomas Morrow, claiming their professional cards. Sean Sharkey's absolutely buzzing to be a professional.
I saw Greg Batten after he came off from his match, and he said that he needed to go and settle because he was really feeling anxious in the arena throughout that match. He put in a great performance, but he said he was going to go and have a pint of Guinness to try and settle his nerves.
Another good break from Karl O'Donoghue. But again, it's dry. That little cluster just on the balk line. It's going to be the key to unlocking this frame for Neil Raybone.
Yeah, the good thing is he shouldn't need to do too much to try and develop. He's got the, I don't know if he tried to leave an angle here, to screw off the side cushion into them. I think my preference would be to go from the red near the middle. The problem is here. The eggs are going to be in one basket. He's going to use the red that's closest to the, the yellow that's closest to the centre pocket. Screw into those two yellows, but if he doesn't land on anything, he's got the one near the pocket, but if he covers that, then he's in a bit of trouble. So it doesn't need a huge hit to open these up. If you think you really want to be going directly into the yellows, unless he's seen something here. Has he seen maybe the top what? Maybe it's a plant. Wow, that's a bonus. That is a bonus. Yeah, you can see from there it's not dead set, but you can definitely make it. The only thing you need to concern yourself with is where the first yellow goes. It should go towards top cushion, but that just means that you need to hold the cue ball at the top of the table. Yeah, definitely makeable. Oh, it was straighter than I thought it was. You could just dab it in and hold the cue ball. That really was a bonus.
Yeah, well controlled shot from Neil Raybone. Yeah, it looked a little bit offset. Our camera angles sometimes not overly kind on us as commentators, Nick.
No, it's caught me out a few times this weekend. Doesn't take a lot to make me look foolish, but
you and I both.
Great connection, but that cue ball straight back towards that corner pocket. Didn't get kicked in, went straight up there, but this is exactly what Karl would have been hoping for. He'll be delighted, because this is a great opportunity. Both balls spread far and wide. I guess the problem for both here is the red and yellow together, so he's going to target that straight away, pop this one over the middle and come short side for position.
Yeah, it was definitely easier to play short position on the yellow as opposed to the red.
Would have liked to have been a couple of inches further down the table. It's just the wrong angle, which means he's going to have to either load this up with side, yeah, and dink it off the cushion and back out again. Yeah, you see it coming back with reverse side. That's a great shot. Controlled that really well. Back in absolutely perfect position now. just that one shot has opened up the frame. He doesn't get it back across that side of the table. That could have easily gone wrong.
And with that incredible shot, he's carved out a great opportunity for himself to respond to Neil Raybone dishing off Karl's break. Okay, we just see this tit for tat game of cat and mouse going on.
Yeah. So he's going to just run the cue ball through, come high up towards the bulk line. He wants to finish fairly straight on this yellow. He doesn't get any prizes for being too high. He's underhit it by a long way. He didn't want to finish high, and as a result he's finished way low. I mean, he can reroute now. Well, I'm going to assume that he was definitely going high to play the one to the middle next. I mean, he's got this option of the other one down the table. Surely he wasn't going for that, was he?
No, definitely. It was all about, he knew that if he finished too high, he was coming too far away from the ball that he's playing now.
Oh, great recovery.
Fantastic recovery shot from Karl O'Donoghue. He's just got that in the locker, hasn't he? You know, slight positional error, slight mistake, but he always seems to come up with a big shot.
Yeah, that was... I mean, it was a makeable pot, but he had to get the cue ball perfect, and he did. Just taking his time over this one, chalking the cue, composing himself. He knows it's a big 8 ball. Should be unmissable, but still doing the right thing, just composing himself, getting himself in the right frame of mind.
Love the creativity from our challengers.
Oh, Karl returns the favour. That's disastrous from him. Oh, look at this break as well. He's left a series of Marys and he knows it. Look at him.
That's just two thunderous breaks from both players.
That's about as much emotion as you'll ever get from Karl O'Donoghue as well. A little look up to the heavens.
Yeah, he knows as we get into the belly of this match that the tit for tat, the back and forth, you want to really start to pull ahead.
What's that, 2 dry breaks and 1 in off? Out of the 4 breaks he's had, well, that would be the 5th for him, I guess. Break just not working, is not his friend at the moment.
He broke so well on this table against Stevie Dempsey yesterday. That was the deciding factor in that match, I have to say, how well Karl broke. So he'll know how important it is.
Still plenty of time left on the clock, 18 minutes. We should still see a conclusion to this match in terms of getting to 7. That's a good shot. That's just needed to make sure he got good shape on this this ball on the side cushion, and he has. And now he just needs to leave an angle on his last ball. Well, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's taking this well. He just wants to push through a couple of inches in the natural path of the cue ball from his penultimate ball. Yeah, it's perfect. So Neil Raybone. Punishment off the Karl O'Donoghue break. We will see Neil breaking frame ahead in this match.
He knows the path to get there now. He's knocking on the door of a title. Oh, that cue ball. Tracking towards that top left pocket again. I think Neil would have had his heart in his mouth just for a second.
Yeah, we see a great view of our arena. Fantastic 3-table setup. The main 3 tables, and just behind where the sparkly curtain is, there's 5 outer tables for anybody that hasn't been to Blackpool. Hasn't been to see our Pro Series setup. Something else, Nick.
Oh, it's fantastic. You see Chris Melling just in the background there on the main arena table. Then you've got another table behind that one. That really is a great view of this pro room at the Grand Hotel in Blackpool. There's 3 other rooms that they play pool in. There's the Queen's Room, the Trafalgar Room, and Lancaster. They're 3, what is it, over 40 tables now I think in play. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. There's 5 in here. I think there's about a dozen over in the Queen's Suite, maybe more. I think it's probably more like 16. You've got Trafalgar, that's got probably another 15 tables in it, and yet another room. But besides that, you need it. I mean, there's now over 400 players in the combined fields. Basically, take over the hotel for the entire weekend. It is a great venue.
It certainly is. Yeah, it's rigging begins on like Monday. You started playing on Thursday.
Yeah. Last time I was up, I stayed on the Sunday night for the first time, and I went to bed at about 1 a.m. and this room was already kind of semi-stripped. They're taking the arena apart. Everyone's hands on. Some of the refs stay behind and help, and it's just such an organisation. And I came down about 8:30 in the morning to see the room was pretty much cleared. All the tables are away and packed up in lorries and away to go. I mean, it's just an amazing operation.
Yeah, there's for anybody that is interested, have a look behind the scenes. There's a great video where Declan Brennan, I don't know if you've seen it, Nick. Great video of Declan Brennan taking you for a walk through.
That is such a good shot. I wondered how he was going to get up for the 8 ball, and he's played that beautifully well. So much side on that ball to kick it off the side cushion and send it up. Big one. This has to make a ball, has to make a clearance. He's got the first bit done, and what's the layout looking like? It's
not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think the yellow furthest up the table, I think you can get to the potting angle, and he's got a ball that connects with it, so this is a very, very good chance. Opener to middle, he can just squeeze through that gap. He finds it very nice.
Yellow ball's in play.
I think he may... he just needs to really think about the way he takes these. He does have an angle to get across through that gap between 8 ball and the red above it to come over for the that yellow he's just looking at now on the left hand side, but he needs to finish fairly straight on that to get short position on the one in bulk. But then to get from that to these 2 balls is difficult, so yeah, he's seen a different way about it. I like this. He spent some time just working it out, and now they connect up pretty well. You can drop this in and hold on the red for the yellow to left centre. And now he's got a fairly natural angle. He just needs to be careful. He needs to stun probably across the face of the red. He may come through the gap of the 2 reds. He just needs to work his path out. He could just top it through. Yeah, I was going to say he could top it through and play the one down the bottom left. There was a couple of different ways of going about this. 8 ball, don't think it goes to bottom right. Pretty sure it doesn't. So again, he needs to leave the right angle on his last ball to make sure he can come down the right hand side of the table. Needs to roll. That's perfect.
Excellent positional shot from Karl O'Donoghue.
He can pretty much screw to where he is now, just a couple of inches above where he is now.
This is spirited performance in this frame from Karl O'Donoghue.
Yeah, he's done very, very little wrong.
It's very easy to fold in these Whenever your opponent gets to the hill and it's really punished you, and Neil Raybone's played incredibly well up to this point. It shows the measure of the man. A great finish from Karl O'Donoghue. You called it, Nick. He needed a ball, he needed a finish, and he's duly dispatched both.
Great connection, but it's going to be dry. It's going to be dry. Not without its problems though, this table. Big cluster of balls have gone up towards the top left. Let's have a look at how this lies. Well, if you can find a red, they're not bad. And he can get through this gap for the one over the pocket. They're actually okay, these reds. It's just this traffic at the top of the table. And he's going straight up there to attack it. I don't know if the red in the middle of the three passes the other one near the pocket. I don't think it does. And he definitely won't want to move the one over the pocket, so I think he's going to have to take this one to bottom right and try and land on the one to top left. He needs to take that as his first ball. And he needs to do it while he's got the red adjacent to the right hand middle pocket as well, because this one, is it gone a bit far? He's going to have to take the inside one now. But he wants to pot it cleanly. Yeah, that's okay. It wasn't quite clean, but he's only just nudged the red slightly across. He's just got the right angle as well to be able to get across onto that. I think he can stump between the yellow, the gap between the two yellows out into the other gap between the other two yellows furthest up the table. Just like so. And now he can work his way back down the table. Again, he's looking for the gap that he's just come through between those two yellows straddling the bulk line. Oh, needed that to hold up. Just seemed to ping a little bit off the top cushion. Now this is suddenly a lot more difficult than it should have been. Needs another big recovery shot. 15-second clock. What a shot again.
Wow.
How does he keep doing this?
Time and time again, Karl O'Donoghue just pulls out the big shot when he needs it. And this match is going to get exactly what it deserves. We're going to a decider.
Yes, indeed.
And it's Wing with the break and the decider.
Can his break work for him?
He struck it well. He's got a ball. He took a little bit off that, Nick.
He took quite a lot off of that, and look at the way these have come out. Oh my goodness. Neil Raybone's just put his cue away.
Yeah, you can just see at the top right corner of our previous shot, Neil Raybone has taken a look at that and put his cue away.
What a break that is, by the way. I mean, that is crazy. He's probably hit that at about 75% of what he can full power. And he's just left with... I'd say that I fancy these, but I'd actually miss them, so I'm not going to say.
Well, Karl O'Donoghue, that's all he wanted, an opportunity. He struggled with his break in this match up until that last one.
He's underhit this one. If he was straight on this, this is absolutely straightforward. But he's underhit it by probably 5 inches. He's going to kill the pace on that. And yeah, he's still... I'm trying to look for drama where there really isn't any, but he shouldn't have needed to play a cannon then. Now suddenly he's in between position again. Yeah, and he needed to play a shot there. And he's going to have to play another one here.
He's certainly not ideal.
He's putting the pressure on himself. Goodness me, Karl O'Donoghue, what are you doing?
And another big shot coming up for Karl O'Donoghue, and it's there. And but this 8-ball is not easy.
I don't think I can even watch.
Drama at the end of this match. From what appeared to be such a simple finish, Karl O'Donoghue.
I mean, you would just expect him to get
Is
it
it there?
though.
He's got it, and the fist pump comes in.